I want to tell you about the morning I put my key in my own front door, and it did not work. Not a sticky lock, not a cold morning problem, a new lock. A lock I had never seen before. On the door of the house I bought in 1987, the house I paid off in 2011, the house where I raised my son by myself after his mother passed, the house that was the only thing in this world that had my name on it and nobody else's. Except that 4 months before that morning, I had signed a paper that put somebody else's name on it too. My son's name. Because he asked me to. Because he had a reason that sounded good. Because I trusted him the way a father trusts a son he gave everything to. And that trust cost me the only roof I had ever owned. My name is Robert Dunn. I am 73 years old. I am a retired plumber. I grew up on the south side of Chicago, and I spent my whole life believing that if you worked hard, kept your word, and loved your family right, the world would treat you with some basic dignity in return. I was wrong about that last part. But I'm going to tell you exactly how I found out. And I'm going to tell you what you can do to make sure it never happens to you. Because what happened to me has a name. And it happens every single day to people exactly like me. Good people, careful people, parents who loved too much and read the fine print too late. Stay with me. This story is going to take a while, but if you have a parent, or if you are a parent, every word of it is for you. I was born in 1951 on the south side of Chicago, Englewood neighborhood, before it became what it became. When I was a boy, it was just a neighborhood, working people everywhere. My father, Earl Dunn, worked at the steel mill on the lakefront for 30 years. My mother, Betty, cleaned offices downtown 3 nights a week and made breakfast for 4 children every morning before school, without once looking tired. I do not know how she did it. I have never figured that out. We did not have money, but we had a code. You showed up. You did not complain. You took care of your own. My father said that to me so many times, it stopped being words and became something in my bones. Take care of your own, Robert. Everything else is secondary. I was not a student. School never grabbed me the way it grabbed some kids. What grabbed me was fixing things. I could take apart anything mechanical and put it back together by the time I was 12. My father knew a plumber who took apprentices. At 17, I started learning the trade. By 20, I had my license. By 25, I was running my own small operation, just me and 1 helper, doing residential work across the south side. It was not glamorous, but it was mine. And every dollar that came in, I knew exactly what it had cost me to earn it. I married Sandra in 1979. She was a nurse's aide at Mercy Hospital. Good woman, steady woman. The kind of woman who makes a home out of 4 walls and whatever is available. We rented for 7 years, saving every month, watching every dollar. In 1987, we bought the house on Paulina Street in Englewood. 3 bedrooms, small yard, brick exterior. Needed work. I did the work myself over 3 years. New pipes, new floor in the kitchen, rebuilt the back porch from scratch. That house was not just a house. It was the proof that the code worked. You show up, you do not complain, you take care of your own, and eventually you have something solid to show for it. I put my name on that deed, and I felt something I have only felt a few times in my life. Like the ground under me was permanent. Sandra passed away in 1994. Cancer. Marcus was 3 years old. I do not have much to say about that period, except that I got through it the only way I knew how. I kept showing up. I kept working. I kept taking care of my son. Some mornings I did not know how I was going to get through the day. And then the day ended, and I had gotten through it. And then I did it again. For years. Marcus was a good boy. I want to say that clearly because the rest of this story is going to make it complicated. He was a good boy. Smart. Could read at 4 years old. Always asking why about everything. His teachers loved him. He made friends easily. He had his mother's warmth and something of my stubbornness, and for a long time that combination worked in his favor. I raised him alone from age 3 to 18. I went to every school event I could make it to, even when I had a job running. I coached his baseball team for 4 years. I drove him to every practice, every game, every friend's house he needed to get to. I was not a perfect father. I was tired a lot. I was not always patient, but I was always there, and I always put him first. The house on Paulina Street, the savings account, the retirement, all of it was for him as much as it was for me, maybe more. Marcus went to college in 1999, first in our family. I paid what I could, and he took loans for the rest. He studied business administration. He graduated in 2003. I drove up to that campus and watched him walk across that stage, and I cried in a way I had not cried since Sandra's funeral. Those were the best tears of my life. After college, Marcus worked in real estate, buying properties, renovating, selling. He was good at it. He talked fast and thought fast and knew how to read a room. Over the years, he did well, better than I ever did financially. I was proud of him. He called regularly, came home for holidays. Everything seemed right. Marcus called me in the spring of 2021. I was 70 years old. He wanted to have dinner, just the two of us. I thought nothing of it. We did that a few times a year. We went to the diner on 63rd Street, where I'd been going since the 1980s. We ate. We talked about baseball. And then over coffee, he laid it out. He said he was working on a real estate deal, a significant one. He needed to secure financing and the bank required collateral. He said he had looked at his options, and the cleanest path was to temporarily transfer the deed of the Paulina Street house into his name. Just for the duration of the deal. He said 6 months, maybe 8. Then he would transfer it back. He said it was a formality. He said the house was not at risk. He said he had done this type of structure many times, and it always worked cleanly. I asked questions. I asked what would happen if the deal fell through. He said it would not fall through. I asked if I should talk to a lawyer. He said it was not necessary for something this straightforward, but I could if I wanted to. I asked why he needed my house specifically. He said because it was paid off and clear, the cleanest asset available. He said, "Dad, I would never put your house at risk. You know that." I knew that. Or I thought I did. I signed the paper he brought to that dinner. A property transfer document, notarized, complete. I signed it over a cup of coffee in a diner I had been going to for 40 years. I did not take it to a lawyer. I did not read every line. I trusted my son. And that is the sentence I will never finish saying without it costing me something. The first 3 months were normal. Marcus called weekly. He gave me updates. The deal was progressing. Everything was on track. He expected to close by fall. I went about my life. I was retired by then. I did odd plumbing jobs for neighbors, watched baseball, tended the small yard on Paulina Street that I had been maintaining for 34 years. In month 4, the calls became less frequent. When I reached Marcus, he was always just finishing a meeting or just heading into one. His answers to questions about the deal became shorter, vaguer. He used words like restructuring and timeline shift that did not mean anything concrete. I noticed. I told myself he was busy. I'd watched him manage complicated deals before. I gave him the benefit of the doubt. In month 5, I started calling more often. He picked up less. When he did pick up, he was warm, always dad this and dad that. But somehow I came away from those calls feeling like I had not spoken to him at all. Like I had spoken to a version of him that was performing a conversation. In month 6, I drove by the house. I had been staying temporarily in a room I was renting 2 miles away, at Marcus's suggestion. He said it would make the paperwork simpler during the deal period. I drove by Paulina Street on a Tuesday afternoon and saw a van parked outside. Workers going in and out. Boxes, furniture I did not recognize being carried in through my front door. I stopped the car and walked up. I asked one of the workers what was happening. He looked at me with the polite blankness of a man doing a job and said, "Sorry, sir, I can't help you." Then he went back inside my house and closed the door. I called Marcus 14 times between Tuesday afternoon and Wednesday morning. He did not answer once. On Wednesday morning, I drove back to Paulina Street and put my key in the lock. New lock. My key did not fit. On the porch, 4 boxes containing my belongings, my tools, some clothes, the framed photo of Sandra that had sat on my bedroom dresser for 27 years. I sat on those porch steps for a long time. I do not know how long. Long enough for the cold to get into my jacket. Long enough for a neighbor across the street, Mrs. Patricia Webb, to come over and ask if I was all right. I told her I was not sure. She brought me a cup of coffee. I drank it on the porch steps of a house that now belonged to my son. I went to a lawyer the following week. She explained to me what I had signed. The document was not a temporary arrangement. It was an irrevocable deed transfer. There was nothing in the document about a 6-month timeline. Nothing about transfer back. Nothing about the deal Marcus had described. I had signed over my house permanently, legally, voluntarily, and Marcus had not lied in a way that the document could prove. He had made his promises verbally, over coffee, with nothing in writing. My lawyer said, "Mr. Dunn, what he did was legal. I want you to understand that. The document you signed was valid." She looked at me across her desk with careful eyes and said, "I am very sorry." I stayed in my car for 61 days. I kept it parked 2 blocks from Paulina Street. I do not know why I stayed close. Maybe I needed to believe I would find a way back. Maybe I just needed to be near the last thing that had been mine. Marcus never called. Not once in 61 days. Living in your car at 70 years old in Chicago is a particular kind of cold. Not just the temperature. Everything is cold. The plastic of the seats, the metal of the steering wheel in the morning, the looks from people in parking lots who figure out what you are doing and look away quickly out of discomfort or pity. I washed up at a gas station 2 miles away. I ate at the same diner on 63rd Street where Marcus had asked me to sign the paper. I kept going back there. I cannot fully explain that. Maybe I needed a place that had been mine before any of this happened. The owner, a Greek man named Stavros, figured out my situation within a week. He started putting extra food on my plate without charging for it. He never mentioned it. Neither did I. That silent kindness is one of the things I will carry with me until I die. My daughter, I should explain. I had a daughter from a brief relationship in the late 1990s, Angela. We had not been close for years, but she called me somehow. I think a neighbor told someone who told her. She drove from Milwaukee to Chicago and found me in that parking lot. She did not say much. She just said, "Dad, come on. You are not doing this anymore." And she drove me to her apartment in Milwaukee. I live in Milwaukee now, Angela's spare bedroom. I pay what I can toward rent. I do small plumbing jobs when I can get them. I am 73 years old, and I am starting again from the beginning. And some days that is the hardest sentence in the world to say. And some days I say it, and I feel something unexpected, something that might be pride. Because I am still here. I showed up again. I did not lie down and disappear. That is not nothing. What do I wish I had done differently? I wish I had read every word of that document before I signed it. Not because I am a lawyer, I am not, but because a signature is permanent in a way that a conversation is not. Whatever someone tells you out loud, whatever warmth they speak with, whatever history you share, whatever love you believe is in the room, none of that is in the document. The document is what is real. The document is what a judge will read. Read it, all of it. Pay a lawyer $200 to read it with you. The $200 will save you everything. Second, never transfer an asset you cannot afford to lose. My house was not one of several assets. It was my only asset. When I transferred it, I transferred everything. If you have a home, a savings account, a piece of property, and someone asks you to sign it over temporarily, for a deal, for a short period, for any reason, the answer is no. The right people will understand no. The wrong people will explain why no is a mistake. That explanation itself is your warning. Third, love is not a legal protection. I loved Marcus. I trusted Marcus the way a man trusts someone he has given 40 years to. And that love was used against me. Not because Marcus is a monster. I do not call him that. I call him someone who let something override whatever he felt for me. Maybe money, maybe fear, maybe something I do not understand. But whatever it was stronger in that moment than everything we had built together. Love does not prevent betrayal. It can make you more vulnerable to it. Know that. Hold it. And do not let your love for someone be the reason you stop asking hard questions. And the last thing, if it happens to you, if you find yourself starting over at an age when you thought you were done starting, let the people who love you help you. I stayed in that car for 61 days because I was too proud to call Angela, too ashamed. That pride cost me 2 months of cold nights and bad sleep and unnecessary suffering. The people who truly love you do not keep score on what you need. Let them in. That is not weakness. That is the only kind of strength that actually matters. My name is Robert Dunn. I am 73 years old. I live in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, in my daughter's spare bedroom. And I am still here. I am not going to tell you I have forgiven Marcus. I am working on it. Some days I am closer than others. Forgiveness, I have learned, is not something you do once. It is something you choose over and over, every morning, before the coffee is ready. Some mornings I choose it. Some mornings I choose to feel what I feel. Both are allowed. Both are honest. What I will tell you is this. If there is a document in front of you, any document from anyone, family or stranger, that involves something you cannot replace, stop. Breathe. Call a lawyer. Read every word. Ask every question. Make them wait. The right people will wait. The wrong people will rush you. That rushing is the tell. That is the moment to put the pen down and walk away. Share this story with someone you love who is older. A parent, a grandparent, an aunt or uncle living alone. Because this happens every day. And most of the people it happens to never tell anyone because they are too ashamed. So share it, because shame is not what they need. Information is what they need. And this story is information. Subscribe to Senior Untold Stories. Every week we bring you a real life, told honestly. Leave a comment below. Tell me what stayed with you, or tell me your own story. I read every single one. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and read what you sign. Always read what you sign. Good night.